Good morning to all of you. I welcome all of you in this session of English grammar. Today in this session, we are going to discuss two significant phrases that we use in our day-to-day communication, either in spoken communication or in written communication. Both the phrases are very vital as far as spoken and written communication is concerned. Often, many people get confused as far as these two phrases are concerned. The first phrase is at the beginning and the second phrase is in the beginning. So this is the question always arises in the mind of the users of English language. When should we use at the beginning and when should we use in the beginning? So in this session, I am going to clarify when we are supposed to make the use of the first phrase at the beginning and also the second phrase in the beginning. So let me clarify the first phrase, what is meant by at the beginning. So students, the phrase at the beginning is used to describe a specific, the exact point in time or location. This is used when something actually starts, when particular event or incident or process actually starts. So to mention that particular point in time, we make use of the phrase at the beginning in the sentence. Let me explain with the help of the example. The director introduced all the characters at the beginning of a serial. So here in this sentence, I have made the use of the phrase at the beginning. So let me repeat the sentence. The director introduced all the characters at the beginning of a serial. Here, the speaker wants to say that before the serial starts, isn't it? Before the actual serial starts, the director introduced all the characters at the beginning. So the first action that the director performs is to introduce the characters. So this is how the phrase at the beginning is used in the sentence. Let us take one more example. We make a list of tourists at the beginning of the discussion. So here also, before the tourists or the speaker makes the planning of the tourist, they make a list of tourists at the beginning. So here also the speaker has highlighted a particular, the exact point in the time. Let us take one more example. The salary is credited at the beginning of each month. So here the speaker wants to tell us the time, the exact point in the time of the salary, maybe on the first day of each month or maybe in the first week of each month, and that is why the speaker says the salary is credited at the beginning of each month. So this is how the phrase at the beginning is used to describe a specific or exact or particular point in time or location. So as far as location is concerned, we can make the use of this phrase in this way. She lives at the beginning of the lane. Maybe the first resident, the first house, the first building belongs to the speaker, belongs to her, and that is why the speaker has used the phrase at the beginning in this sentence. I repeat the sentence. She lives at the beginning of the lane. Now let us come to the second phrase I am going to clarify in this session, that is in the beginning. So the phrase in the beginning is used to describe the early stages or the initial period or span of time. So normally we do not specify the specific or exact or particular point in time when we make the use of this second phrase in the beginning. Okay, so it is used in a general sense in the sentence. For example, I felt awkward in the beginning at training center. So here the speaker wants to describe his situation, his condition in the beginning at the training center. Here the phrase in the beginning describes the early stages, the initial span or period of the time. Maybe the span may include a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. And that's why, so this is the difference between at the beginning and in the beginning. So I repeat the same sentence. I felt awkward in the beginning at the training center. Okay. When we make the use of this phrase in the beginning, so this phrase also tells us the comparison, the contrast between the early stages and the stages later on. So in this sentence, when the speaker says, I felt awkward in the beginning at training center, perhaps, probably, later on, the condition of the speaker might be normal, might not be awkward. And that's why the speaker has used the phrase in the beginning in this sentence. Now, let us take one more example. She practiced in small clinics in the beginning of her career. Here also, the phrase in the beginning describes the early stages, the initial span of her career. So now, perhaps, probably, when the speaker is narrating this condition that she practiced in small clinics in the beginning of her career, might be right now, she might be working in the big hospitals right now, and that's why when we use the phrase in the beginning in the sentence, it also focuses on the comparison, the contrast between the early stages and at present. So I hope you must have understood the difference between these two significant phrases, at the beginning and in the beginning. Many people get confused when they make the use of these two phrases, at the beginning and in the beginning. Let me revise. The phrase at the beginning describes a specific and exact point in time or location. It is used when something actually starts. Okay. And the phrase in the beginning describes the early stages, the initial span or period of time. Okay, the phrase in the beginning also compares the early stages and at present, the condition at present. The phrase in the beginning is used in a general sense. In the next session, I will clarify again two phrases, at the end and in the end. I conclude my session here. Thank you.